Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. Of course, it's Wednesday. You have arrived here on new album review day. Albums, sometimes we review books or videos and things like that, but generally it's albums, right? So we've got here for today, for this episode, we've got the brand new release. It's the 12th studio album from this long-standing British prog rock, jazz, fusion, avant-garde, whatever you want to call them band. It's from Soft Machine. Other Doors is the brand new album. I do want to thank Theo Travis himself for sending me a copy of this new one. This comes on the heels of their last album, Hidden Details, which came out in 2018. So let's take a look at this album. And this is on Dyad Records, right? Of course, under Moon June management. All right. And there are the guys in the band. I will tell you who they are in just a second. A little bit of a nice little essay here talking about the creation of the album and the songs and who plays on it, all that good stuff. And let's see. So, of course, Soft Machine today, comprised of John Etheridge on electric guitars, Theo Travis, tenor and soprano saxophones, flute, Fender Rhodes electric piano and electronics. Brand new to the band, Fred Thelonious Baker on fretless bass guitar, and John Marshall, legend John Marshall, on drums and percussion, with special guest Roy Babington, additional bass guitar on 2 tracks. Of course, Roy was a full-time member of the Soft Machine for many, many years, decided to step down from the band recently, so we've got Fred is now full-time member of the Soft Machine. Produced by Theo Travis and John Etheridge, recorded at Rue La Mer at Temple Music Studios, Surrey, between end of July and early August 2022, mixed and mastered at the latter half of 2022. Now we've got the album, the CD, whatnot. So if you have followed Soft Machine for 50 plus years, right, you know they are a band that kind of never really fit too squarely in any kind of peg. They got their start as kind of like a psychedelic band in the late 60s, early 70s, eventually moving into jazzier realms, but of course that quirky jazz from the UK, from the Canterbury scene, right? From Canterbury, right? Known as Canterbury rock, right? It's kind of prog, but it's quirky. It's very British, very jazzy, very playful. But then they started moving into more avant-garde jazz waters, right? Then eventually into straight jazz fusion. They brought Alan Holdsworth into the band briefly. Of course, then John Etheridge stepped in, continued kind of that fusion realm. Then, of course, broke up and everybody went their separate ways doing other projects for many, many years. And then they got back together a number of years ago. They started playing and doing live albums and things in the mid-late 2000s, various configurations, and then their first new album of new material was 2018's Hidden Details, and that was the first new album since 1981's Land of Cocaine, right? And now we've got Other Doors here. So this album is comprised of all new compositions, save for a couple kind of reimaginings of older Soft Machine songs, right? Like I mentioned, there's 13 tracks in total. The album on the whole, to me, a lot of it sounds very improvised. And you've got like the first half of the CD, you've got John Etheridge writing or co-writing a lot of the tracks along with Theo Travis and various other guys in the band. And then you've got the latter part are mostly Travis compositions. And Nuka seems very interested in hearing about this Soft Machine album. I find overall, when listening to this start to finish a number of times now, it's a little laid back, which kind of surprised me. That's not necessarily in a bad way, but I found a lot of it, like I said, sounds kind of improvised and just kind of spacey and laid back. I don't know any other way to say it. It's just I was there's kind of a lack of energy on here, which I thought was kind of surprising. But the musicianship is spectacular. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really good. I think some of the songs that I really gravitated towards. Of course, they do a reimagining of Penny Hitch, which is an old track from the '70s from them, I believe, on their 7th album, and that is quite good. Other Doors is another really good track. I really like of the first half of the CD, my favorite piece is the Theo Travis song Crooked Usage. And that's really cool. That's more kind of like what I was expecting from this album. Kind of cool soloing from the guys in the band. A little more kind of sound of menace there and a little unpredictability, which is always one of the things I loved about Soft Machine. You've got some, I mentioned Penny Hitch before and also Other Doors. Both of those feature some really nice guitar soloing from Etheridge. And I kind of wanted to hear more from him throughout the album. He's here, but, the guy is such an amazing guitar player, right? There's the reason why they chose him to replace Holdsworth in the band. The guy's amazing, amazing skills and great technique. And like, you do hear him on the album. Again, don't want to make it seem like he's not on here. I think I wanted to hear him a little bit more. Other tracks on here that I really dug quite a bit. Fell to Earth is nice. Again, it's kind of improv-y, but it's dark and there's some cool soloing from Theo, a little bit from John. The drumming throughout the album by Mr. Marshall is always outstanding. He's such a really good player. And then another song I really liked is Back in Season, the last track. That's another Theo Travis song. That's kind of dark. You get this kind of cool, bubbling, amazingly dexterous guitar solo from John Etheridge. And I love Theo's very understated use of kind of electric piano and other keyboards and electronics throughout the album. They're kind of like simmering in the background. Add some nice color. Of course, his sax and flute playing is always top notch. I mean, he seems like the main guy in the band now. If you listen to this, so if you're someone who really likes, sax and flute, woodwinds and the keyboards and what in this type of music, Theo Travis's imprint is all over this album quite a bit. Not only did he write a good chunk of the album, but his playing is like, to me, seems like he's the soloist that's kind of featured the most. But excellent stuff all around. The fretless bass work from new guy Mr. Baker is very well done. There's nothing bad on here. I think for me, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more up-tempo, maybe a little bit more fiery, but you do get bursts throughout the album, and it's really good. I mean, musically speaking, there's nothing bad to say about this at all. It's a pleasant listen. It's just a little bit more laid back than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But musicianship is great. There's some great guitar soloing on here from Etheridge. I wish there was more of it. Theo Travis is awesome on this album. Like I said, to me, he's the MVP of this album. And the drums and the bass are also spectacular. But again, it's because it's more laid back. There's not a lot of busy stuff on here. But that's okay, I guess. So I'm going to give this 3.5 out of 5 star. I opted with a 3, but I do like it. I'm not going to let my kind of expectation mar my score because I was expecting something a little bit different, because I got something not quite that. Still what it is, it's really good. It's just it's a little bit different, I think, but that's okay. I think most folks will really dig this. There's a lot of good stuff. These guys are so good, right? I mean, they've been around forever, and the musicianship is really, really good. Whether you wanted something, like I said, a little more fiery or not, that's going to be up to you. I'm in that kind of ballpark, but I do like it. So, that's my score. 3.5 out of 5. Other Doors by Soft Machine. If you've heard it, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't, go and check it out and let us know what you think. Once again, there are the guys right there. Always good to, that's the thing. It's like, it's always cool to get new music from this band. They are legends, and new music from legends is always something that should be embraced. And again, whether you as the listener find that it's to your liking or not, that's up to you. But I love when these long-standing bands, because obviously they play live as much as they possibly can. But I like the fact that they're recording new music as well too, and kind of revisiting some couple older classics as well while they're at it. So that's my review. This is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations as well as our merch page. So thanks in advance for all of that. And we'll see you real soon here with more stuff. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll get at least one more review today. And we'll save the rest for next week. So till then, take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.